Hi again, Doug here from X Frames FPV. Well, today we got a mailbox for you. You know, I haven't done a mailbox in a while. You know, I used to do them quite often, but my gosh, I just time constraints, right? We getting busy with life and busy with work, which this is my work, and I just run out of time. So this is one I've been wanting to do for a while, just getting another mailbox on there. So let's get to the mailbox and we can kind of see what's come in this week. All right, so here we go with tabletop. Got a lot of stuff to go over today on the mailbox. I was going to split it into two, but I just rather keep it to one. So I was sent a few frames from iFlight. I was sent also some flight controllers and VTX from HolyBro. iFlight also sent me a flight controller. I'll show you that, and then some ready to fly. So let's go real quick to get them out of the way of the iFlights. Now, I'm going to have frame build videos on each one of these. At some point, I will be doing a full build on these as components come in. So stay tuned for that. But I will do an individual build video of each one of these frames and get a little bit more in-depth detail as far as the quality and kind of what I think of the build process. The first one they sent me here is the X5. And obviously that's a 5-inch, and this is their V2. I really like every single one of them has had pretty nice lipo straps, so I like things like that. And so we'll like I said, we'll go in more detail as far as exactly what's in the package once we do an individual video. This is just kind of an overview of these products. The other one they sent me is the XL5, is the stretch version. So I'll be getting that one built as well, and we'll take a good look at it. These two, we have two different frames here. One is the X5 and one is the H5. This is the H5, has some aluminum and some 3D printed parts. And it's a really pretty stunning frame. So comes with a lot of nice little bits here and landing gear and a lot of stuff. Really well laid out packaging, and as far as everything, you know, comes separately packaged and not just thrown in the bag for the most part, except for, as I say that, there are some standoffs just sitting there in the bag. But we'll get this one built and get a look at it. This will probably be one of the first ones that I build because my son kind of wanted to give it a try, so we'll do that. This other one is I believe it's, let me see here. This is the X5. So I'm trying to see what the difference. They say this is, so this must be the version 1 of the X5 here, because we've got the version 2. Oh, this is the Strider X5. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know a lot about BFight or iFlight. And so, you know, I mean, I've built a few of their frames, but as far as knowing every single one of their frames, I really don't. So I'm excited to get to learn more about this company. But this is the Strider X5. This one is the XL5 Lowrider. Okay, so it gives you a little more information. And this is the standard X5. And the boxing on this is just beautiful. Really nice carbon fiber. And I'm a sucker, like I've said before, for good carbon fiber. And this, I like the boxing as well. I like that it comes. I was talking to a gentleman today about Flynoceros. You know, their stuff. When you get Flynoceros stuff, it comes just, it's actually retail packaging. And this one is as well, this iFlight. So standoff on one of them. Let's go to flight controllers here. So I was sent two different flight controllers from HolyBro. And, you know, you guys, I'm sure, let's go ahead and zoom in here. Try to do it without, I'm getting used to this camera. You guys, I'm sure, have heard a lot from HolyBro, and they've been in the industry for a while. And, you know, their products, they seem to be getting, they've always had good products, but they seem to be getting better and better. And, you know, these new flight controllers are definitely no exception. I've really impressed with the just initial thoughts opening the box, taking a look at it, with the initial quality of the components, the way they're laid out, the way everything's soldered in there, it just is built really well. Obviously nice and big F4 chip. This is the Kahoot. And, you know, they do kind of this interesting thing. No need to soft mount anymore because they have already soft mounted the gyro for you right there. We'll see how that is. You know, the only thing, you know, we'll have to see is how durable that little ribbon cable is, although we're not taking some frames like the Floss, for instance. It's pretty open on the top, right? So that would maybe concern me catching on a branch or something. And then also sometimes on really tight builds we have to stack on top, and that wouldn't work. So sorry guys, that wouldn't work. So, you know, it's I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm going to have to play with it and put it in a few builds before I really get an idea of the advantage of having it on a separate pad there. And like I said, it is soft mounted. You know, the advantage to that is obviously you don't have to soft mount your motors anymore. You don't have to soft mount the flight controller, you know, and especially when you get into some of these stacks, the 4-in-1 and the flight controller, you know, if the flight controller is soft mounted and the 4-in-1 isn't, that can be an issue. And so we've eliminated that issue. So I like what they've done, and we'll just kind of have to see moving forward really what it does in a build. So that's their standard F4. This is not an all-in-one. I do like that it takes straight LiPo power, so you don't have to run voltage regulators to it. It takes a straight 7 to 24, so it's up to 6 volts, or 6S. So I really like that about it. So you can see there, I mean, even here you can see the quality of the components and just how clean it is. They also sent me some of these. This is I think it's basically the same board with the exception it is an all-in-one. And so you can see the addition of the pads there. These pads then are for mounting your ESCs too, okay? And so, you know, it's not, they've extended it a little bit, but not as much as some of them, you know, and I say that, you know, it's not like it's 2 or 3 millimeters smaller, but even a single millimeter on some of these really tight builds make a difference. And I think overall the layout, let's look at the bottom of this, and the layout is very similar. Things are in obviously in a different place because it is a totally separate board. But I really like how, again, guys, how clean this is. Onboard regulator there. Gyro is separate and soft mounted again. So I think I've got a few, some ideas for where to put these. I have a lot of frames in desperate need of components. I have some components. It seems like I get cameras and VTX is given to me quite often, but I haven't had as many flight controllers, and I'm still going to need to get some ESCs to get some of these frames built. But this is going to be great because they sent me 3 of each, and so that allows me to really get some of these built. That's a total of 6 builds that I can do, and I will use it. Let's go on to their Atlatl, I guess is the way you pronounce it. This is their VTX, and really well laid out VTX. It runs, this does have smart audio, so you can do stick tuning. I tell you, that is such a great thing to have. Now that I've put it on a few of my drones, I don't want anything else. It allows you to change your frequency. You know, I have the wand. A lot of my stuff, or some of my stuff, has the ImmersionRC Tramp. I have the wand for that, and that's a real easy thing. But it's not as easy as when you're on the start. If you've already got your drone on the ground, someone turns on and you need to change channels, you don't even have to get up. You just boom, boom, boom. It's in your goggles, and you change frequencies. Then also the advantage of changing anything that comes to your PIDs and that kind of stuff. So that's a really great thing. And this allows you to do that. So we're going to review this and get this installed. We'll do a little bit more in-depth, detailed review of that. Let's go here to the drones that we got. The first one here, they call this the little egg. And I'll show you the box here. Make sure we pull out a little bit. Okay. So they call it the fly egg. Let's just call it the flying egg, because fly egg doesn't sound as good. This is provided me from GearBest. Thank you guys so much. All three of these ready to flies were from GearBest. The frames were provided to me from iFlight. Thank you to those guys over there. I really appreciate sending me so much product for the first time to try. And the same thing with HolyBro, sending me out 3 of each to try really gives me an opportunity to really get an idea rather than throwing it in one and just going from there. I'm going to really have a good idea. And this is going to go into some of our shop builds, and so this will be really nice. But this is from GearBest. This is the Fly Egg, and this is a really nice little micro. This, me and my son took it out. We only had the opportunity, and I'll be doing some flight footage video with it. We only had the opportunity to fly it one time because at the time I had not charged any battery other than the battery that comes with it. It's this 350 milliamp 35C 2S. So we've only flown this on 2S, and I will tell you, on 2S, this is such a pleasure to fly. It's not overly powerful. You know, there's absolutely plenty of power, but you don't, you know, the combination of this really small drone and, you know, then on top of that, all of the different things that lightness gets you, right? That makes it just fly so well with even on 2S, and we had a really good time. Like I said, I'm going to do a video that kind of goes in more detail over this and talks about all the little details of what it comes with, a little 20 by 20 stack, and also a little bit of flight footage. So had a lot of fun with that one the other day, even though we didn't have enough battery. This one, well, this is making its rounds on YouTube, isn't it, guys? This is the Darkmax. This is provided to us from GearBest as well. This is the Furibee Darkmax. And this, everybody's talking about it, is capable of running on 6S. And it's got these 2205, 2550 kV motors from DYS, 4-in-1 stack, and then really an all-in-one on the top here, which includes the VTX as well as flight controller. And so it's pretty well laid out. I like it's got, you know, minimally chamfered arms. The arms are chamfered. It's you know, small chamfer. It's really nice. Let me pull out a little bit. It's really nice and firm. It's pretty windy here, guys, today. Sorry about that. It's a super stiff frame, one piece on the bottom, unibody. I like the layout. Manning the GoPro, super simple on this because it comes with straps actually in the box. Let me get the box here for it. In the box you get 2 sets of props. I did not use the props. These are the Flash from Jim Fan. I'm not a huge fan of these, so I threw the props that I fly on here. But you do get 2 sets of those, and those are actually they're a good prop. Don't get me wrong. I like that they included these rather than just a super cheap, you know, $1 a set kind of really cheap props. And you get 2 sets of those. You get these straps. These are not meant for your lipo. These are meant for your camera, and that comes with it. I'm trying to think here. We did have to provide the battery strap. Got this nice antenna. You know, we did already go out and fly this. I will have some flight footage in the next video. I'm sorry, guys, this is getting a little long, but we did end up changing this antenna pretty quickly. We didn't get very good reception with this antenna, so we threw I forget what we put up there, but we put one up there, and it was much better. Camera's decent, nice color. I know it says CCD, but I'm not positive about that. I've heard other people say it's a CMOS, and it has the look kind of a CMOS. But we ran this. I did not run it on 6S. I don't have 6S. I do have 5S. We ran on 5S, and it did flawless. Motors came back nice and cool and had no issues. If you're buying this for a 6S machine, just, you know, the thing about here, I'll give you my 2 cents, and you do with it what you want to do. When it comes to a 4-in-1 ESC, I don't think I would run a 4-in-1 ESC on anything that I'm going to run 6S. I built a 6S machine for my good customer in Texas, and I really wanted to put a 4-in-1 because of the looks, the aesthetics, but I just decided not to, because I just don't think you're going to get the reliability, and we'll have to see. I could be wrong with this one. Maybe they figured something out, but you're running so much voltage through that one piece of hardware, that one component, 6S, 24 volts, all the way, through. It's just a lot. It's a lot to go through one piece of copper, which is basically what you're doing. And so that's my opinion. I think if you're buying this and you want to run extra voltage, I think this would be a great 5S machine. And we ran 2 or 3 batteries on 5S without any issues whatsoever, and had a good time. Tuned relatively well. Came by and fly with an FRSky receiver. The receiver has just got one of the little antennas. It's at an X. I don't know. I would probably change out the receiver and put a full-size racing receiver. This is more meant for a micro. But we had a great time with that. And then finally, we come to the BFight. This is also provided me from GearBest or BFight, depending on where you see it. This is their little 210. And let's see what comes in the box. This is the Aurora BFight. Comes with an extra antenna if you want to run SMA as opposed to this linear dipole. It also comes with a strap. I don't know if they intended for this to be the strap for your LiPo, but we put a regular strap with it. This comes also with 2 sets of props, these Gem Fan Flash. So that's another great thing. I like that they're including name brand and 2 sets of props in it, and some extra little goodies, couple zip ties and some shrink tube. So we're going to go out and get some flight footage. We had some issue. We took it out the other day, and we had some issue with the VTX. For some reason it worked, but I couldn't get it off, change it from out of 25, even if I use a stick tuning, this is already set up for stick tuning, which is absolutely wonderful that these companies are doing it. It's a super simple thing for them to do. Doesn't take them any time, but it gives them a really good, what am I looking for? It gives us a really good option, right? We already talked about that. But it wouldn't change, and where we were flying, we needed the full 200 milliwatts, and it was switching channels every time that we turned it on. So we just decided we're going to do more flight footage of it later, or get some good flight footage of it. But as far as the flight, it flew good. It does have these F-Love Fly. I don't know. Anyways, it's the 2205, 2300 kV motors. Not a lot of cogging, just, your standard kind of inexpensive motor. These are both under $200, both the Darkmax and this one. And they come with some pretty good components, 4-in-1, nice flight controller. And so with this one, as with the Darkmax, and the Fly Egg, we're going to have a second flight video, give you more detailed information on it, and then also some flight footage. And so I know that especially on these ready to fly, I'm not building them, so I don't do any build out videos on them, and so I want to spend a little more time with them on the flight side. so that people can see that, because that's what it's all about when you're wanting to buy something that's around $200. iFlight also sent me, I wanted to show you this, the Force VT 5805 V2. This is a stack mountable VT5804. Yes, that's right. Sorry. VT5804 V2. And this is another switchable all the way up to 600 milliwatt VTX. And so we'll be getting a little bit more information as time goes on this one. We'll get this in a build, but that was also provided to me from iFlight. So thanks again, guys. Guys, thanks for sticking with me. My voice is a little out today, but really wanted to get this video done because I got so much great stuff sent to me. And I appreciate it, especially when it's stuff that, you know, I get offered a lot of stuff that I turn down because I don't want to put stuff out there that doesn't kind of go along with what I do, which is build racing and freestyle drones. And so this stuff, everything that we got today all kind of fits within, you know, within that category. You know, this is an inexpensive race drone, but it is a race or freestyle drone. This is also an inexpensive race drone, but it is a freestyle race drone. This is something, well, it's not made for racing, but as every racer knows, you got to have something like this, because when maybe you need to fly, like our front yard, we don't have a lot of room. And so this is great to fly out there. Obviously, the flight controller VTXs that we received, they're all built for the race and freestyle community, as well as the iFlight frames that we received. So I love when I get stuff sent to me that is right in my, as they say, wheelhouse. In other words, it's stuff that I am going to use. So, you know, I'm not going to, you know, there was about a month there that I kind of took everything that was offered to me, and I started realizing, you guys don't want to see a bumblebee drone, right? I mean, that's not what we're here for, you know. So we all play with brush stuff, but or not all of us, but some of us do. But I want to keep it to what you guys want to see. And so this is what I want to see. If I watch stuff, this is what I watch videos on. And so that's what I'm going to send you. So I love it when these companies send me the good stuff to try. First time I've been sent full race ready to flies. That's kind of the new thing, right? Is stuff that's already ready to go. And so, you know, we had a couple little issues with this one, or one issue with it. But they're going to send a product for replacement. You know, that's one of the things. There's no way that a company can build at this price point and it be as good as something that's $500 or $600. So we look and see, okay, what are the disadvantages to buying a under $200 drone, and what are the advantages? And for a lot of people, there's a lot of advantages, because the disadvantage is, if I don't spend this much, I don't get one because I can't afford it. All right. So, and I know that, I understand that. I'm in this hobby. I build full time. This is my full-time job, is what I do, is this business. And if I wasn't given stuff to test and got great deals on stuff, and, you know, only had to throw maybe a set of motors on something and everything else was provided for me, man, it'd be hard for me to stay in this hobby. And so it can get expensive. So I'm not against looking at this stuff. You know, you could say this is taking away business, but it's not, because this is not the kind of buyer that could afford to come and spend what it costs for me to build them a custom build. But that's okay. This is great for somebody that it's their first time. It's something that they want to try it out. And I'm telling you, you get one of these, they fly good enough, you're going to have a blast, and you're going to go out there and have some fun. And then later on, when you get good, you can hire me to build you one of these nicer frames with the nicer components, or build it yourself. So sorry, I got on my soapbox there. I don't know why, but guys, appreciate you. You know, I say that every video, and I say it because I mean it. I love my community, and I'm excited about getting some of this stuff built. So like I said, we'll do more in-depth videos on individual reviews of these flight controllers We'll do some build videos on the frames, and then as things go, you'll probably end up seeing maybe one of these flight controllers in this frame and that kind of thing, because that's what they're going to be used on. So guys, have a great day. Check out my website, xframesfpv.com, and you can check out some of my builds and have some exciting things happening there. Don't pay attention to the pictures, because there's stuff. I had a new website built, and I have not had time to change them. Those are just stuff that the website builder threw on there. So some of it's a little old and not necessarily relevant to what I do. But we've got some exciting things coming up on there. So again, have a great day, and I hope you get some time to fly.